Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time, I know, but anyways today we are gonna be discussing the most hated K-pop idols. Please take note that I am not solely or directly hating on these idols. As a K-pop fan for quite some time, I've noticed these specific idols attract the most hate. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with our quote-unquote villain of K-pop, Chaennie. To be real, I had never and will never understand the hate that surrounds this girl so much. She literally is just being your typical idol. The main reason why she is hated is because 1. Her bad attitude, 2. Her scandals, and 3. Her group's uprising success. It's obvious people just bandwagon hated on her even though they had no reason to hate on her in the first place. It's sad what jealousy can do to people. I could have said everyone in the group because everyone likes to hate on them for no apparent reason, but within the members of BTS, it's clearly the maknaes. Whether it be them drinking, or them accused of dating, or breaking rules, there's quite a lot. And to be honest, I don't get why Korean news always feel the need to bring up BTS for the littlest things they do, when it isn't a big deal anyways. And something to mention, hating on groups is not a personality trait. So, remember when we were talking about Jennie's hate? Well, let's not forget Kai and Jennie's relationship also had a lot of backlash, which is ridiculous that people hated on them for that. This also isn't the first time this kinda thing has happened to Kai. Remember when he was caught dating Crystal from FX? Yeah, we all know how that went. If you'll pull this stunt again with Jiho and Daniel, I'll be on your front door waiting. So I'm not very fluent in the whole cultural appropriation thing, so I can't really comment much about Soyeon because every time the topic of Soyeon comes up, I just know people start saying to not support her because she was accused of cultural appropriation and disrespecting other ethnicities. I'm not 100% sure if those accusations are true or not, but if it is true, then I'm gonna have to stay silent on this one and not get involved. I couldn't pick out a specific person, because whenever I hear drama or scandals surrounding Mamamoo they usually include all the members. A prime example is when they did blackface for one of their concerts. They were doing a parody of Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars, and had altered their skin to make it darker. It's a bit of a touchy subject because obviously blackface is not okay, but yes, this was a huge part of why people wanted to cancel them and hate on them. I hope they learned from their mistakes and know how that could have offended a lot of people. So, a while back, Nancy had made a joke about an eating disorder. I absolutely understand why people hated on her for this, and making those types of jokes are really not okay, but we have to consider she was only 14, and personally at such a young age kids don't really take in consideration of how people will react to what she said. But I don't think this is something people should still drag her about to this day. We all say dumb things when we are little and don't see the consequences down the road. This one's a bit different. Yoonwoo is by far the most popular member in Astro, but is also the most hated if that makes sense. He is constantly praised for meeting Korea's ridiculous beauty standards and is often looked at like he is on a pedestal. For me, I'm gonna defend him 100%. 1. He didn't ask to be the popular one. And 2. Why is it his fault that he looks the way he is? People hate on him because he outshines Astro, and think he intentionally does it. How sad. It's not like he can change that fact. And what's even more sad is that he feels guilty about it. Truly unfortunate. I'm not gonna explain this one. If you know, you know. Just like Yoonwoo, there is no reason why this should be happening. People call her talentless, undeserving, and so much more that I don't understand. If you don't already know, Yeri was added to Red Velvet later than the original debut of the group, and this caused quite the outrage. People were upset at how she ruined the group, and saying she's not even a good singer or dancer. I personally can't believe people have the audacity to be so rude sometimes. Like, just leave the girl alone, oh my goodness. Still to this day I see comments saying, good song. It would have been better if Yeri wasn't there, lol. Which is just horrible. Emotionless robot, bad dancer, horrible singer, doll face, is all I ever hear whenever I say Chewie is my bias. No, she may not have the best vocals, and no, she may not give as much expressions as Jiho or Momo, but still, that gives you no right to just flat out make fun of her and say she's useless to Twice. This is also another reason why I hate the title visual. It just gives people a reason to hate on idols. They call her a pretty face and that's it. And also, unpopular opinion, she is actually a great dancer. I mean, what are y'all seeing? You know what? I'm gonna have to be honest with y'all and confess I was also a part of the hate train towards Wonyoung. At the time, I really wanted Sakura to win Produce 48. That I lost sense of my emotions and kinda bashed on Wonyoung for winning along with the other Produce 48 viewers. It wasn't till their comeback came and it really hit me how wrong I was to do that. My emotions kinda flew off the handle a bit and I apologize for that. I hope she's well and I'll try to not do that again in future series. Speaking of Sakura, she was also a huge candidate for being one of the most hated people on Produce 48, and we all know why. I can't say I was a part of the people who hated on her, because I actually was rooting for her the entire time. But I can see a few aspects why she was hated. Yes, the screen time. Her favoritism was so obvious, and her popularity were a huge chunk of what earned her her hate, which really was never her fault in the first place. And last but certainly not least, we have our Queen IU. Well, we know about her hate because she was close to Yoonhook from Super Junior, and let's not forget how a huge chunk of ARMYs started hating on her because she was Jungkook's ideal type. Like, so what if she's his ideal type? That is not an invite to hate on her because your oppa's not into you. That's one of the moments I had a huge loss of respect for ARMYs. And to the people that try to justify their hate for because she's his type, you have absolutely no viable reason to hate on her. Well, anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you can come to terms with any of the idols who you personally don't like, and I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something from it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you loves next time. Bye bye.